Welcome, people, to another episode. In this episode, we're going to be looking at a very peculiar country called Poland. Poland is the only country I've been to where all their cities have an old town. I don't think there's any country I've been to that has an old town in every city. If anyone knows a country that all their cities have an old town, please drop a comment. Okie dokie, the first city we're going to be looking at is a city called Krakow. Krakow is a city in Poland that has a lot of tourists and a lot of very nice locals. Apparently, they have a young or a significant young population there. Okie dokie, let's see what I was up to. I'm just in their old town. I'm sure you heard some people shouting there saying greetings from Krakow. Just to let you guys know anyway, so the locals here call it Krakow and not Krakow. But most tourists call it Krakow because it ends with a W basically and not a F. So the locals call it Krakow. Anyways, we're in Old Town Krakow or Krakow, and it's really busy today. Today's a Monday and it feels like an actual weekend, which is very odd. But I suppose the reason why it feels really busy is because there are a lot of tourists around. So there's a huge tourist population here. Also, one thing I noticed about Krakow is everything here seems like it's set up for tourists, and that's quite similar to what I saw in Warsaw Old Town. And also the Old Town here is quite similar to the Old Town in Warsaw. So basically it's a mixture of old and new. If you've seen my previous video about Old Town Warsaw, I spoke about the fact that I've been to many old towns before and all of them are literally ancient looking. They look old. But in Krakow and Warsaw, their old towns are a mixture of old and new, literally. So it's a really weird one, but I like it. I suppose it's the modern old town basically, but you would expect an old town to be really old, if you know what I mean. So when I got here today, I was thinking, how do I get to Old Town? Do I catch a bus? Do I call an Uber? So before I did anything anyway, so I checked to see how long it takes to walk from the actual train station to Old Town. When I checked the walking distance, it was literally like 15-16 minutes walk. So I thought I might as well do some cardio and walk around and kind of see how things are. It's always better that way anyway, because when you catch an Uber, you don't have a feel of the town or of the area. So it's always good to kind of explore yourself and see how things are. So whilst I was walking anyway, so what I did was take note of how things are, and I was literally comparing the area to Warsaw. I would say in terms of how Krakow looks and how Warsaw looks, there's no significant difference per se, but I think Krakow is slightly different in the sense that people here seem more relaxed, and And I think the reason why is, although Krakow is classed as a major city, it isn't as hectic as Warsaw. So Warsaw is much more hectic. It is also the financial hub of Poland. So obviously you'd expect it to be mad busy. You know what I mean? But Krakow has like a laid-back kind of atmosphere. Okay, so I spoke to a lady earlier, but she never wanted to appear on camera. So obviously you wouldn't see her on camera, because I've got to respect people's privacy. She wanted to talk to me, but she never wanted to appear on camera, which is okay. So I'm still walking around Old Town. There's a lot to see today, so I think this actual video might be a long one. It might be at least half an hour. Yes. So the locals in Krakow are really friendly. So I did meet a lady in the video, or in Krakow, sorry, and she was just talking to me about things to do in Krakow and how Krakow is. Okay, let's see what this gentleman has to say. Yeah, okay, so have you been to Warsaw?
Warsaw.
Okay, you've been there, yeah? So do you prefer Krakow to Warsaw? Which one is better, Krakow or Warsaw? You don't know?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Warsaw.
Warsaw, yeah? You like Warsaw?
Krakow is beautiful, yeah?
Yeah.
Yes.
So what do you do anyway? Do you work here? Do you work in Krakow, or are you a student? You go to school or?
Yes, school, yes.
School, yeah. What's your name?
Kamil.
Yeah, nice to meet you. Do you have YouTube? Do you have YouTube on your phone?
Instagram?
Yeah, I've got Instagram. Okay, yeah, I could give you my Instagram.
Sorry,
you don't have
my
okay.
telephone.
Oh, you don't have the phone on you?
My Instagram is 70. Moment.
Take your time. We have all day.
70.
Don't worry, it's okay. Anyways, so you're from Krakow. You like Krakow,
yes,
but you think Warsaw might be better. Yeah?
Yes.
So Warsaw is bigger, there's more to do.
Yes, big.
Okay, so he's saying that Warsaw is bigger, you know, there's more to do in Warsaw, which I totally agree on. But I feel Krakow is good though. Krakow, people are more laid back. You know,
people,
yeah, they don't really care.
Yes.
They're having a good time. You know.
Yes.
Okay, let me leave you. Nice to meet you. Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, take care. Yeah.
Walter, where are you from?
London.
London. Oh,
yeah, England.
No.
Yeah.
I saw in Elżbieta.
Is it? Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. All right, let me leave you. Yeah, I need to go.
Yes.
Yeah, take care. Yeah. Yeah. Bye. Yeah, that was really interesting. So, the guy I met, his name is Kamil, and he was talking about what he feels is good in Krakow and in Warsaw. The funny thing about it is, at the end of it, he asked me where I'm from, and I said I'm from England, from London, and he said something Elisabetta, and that was when that year was when Queen Elizabeth died, and I didn't realize he was like giving his condolences about the death of Queen Elizabeth. Later on, after I posted the video, somebody commented and said, oh, he was obviously sending his condolences regarding Queen Elizabeth. Obviously, there was a language barrier, so I didn't have a clue he was saying that. But respect to you, Kamil. Respect to you. Okie dokie. Also in Krakow, they have a lot of dispensaries where they sell THC or CBD products, I think, because I don't think the CBD products have THC. So if you're into things like that, you'd obviously see them there. Okie dokie, let's see what else I was up to in Krakow. I'm loving this old town, it's really nice. And I'm loving the people of Krakow. Unfortunately, like I said earlier, that lady I spoke to doesn't want to appear on camera, so I'm going to respect that. Yeah, the people here are really nice. So far, so good. Not to say the people in Warsaw are not nice, they are nice, but I suppose they're very busy people. So, there were a number of things I noticed in Krakow as well. So when I got here, on my way to the square area, I did notice that they sell cannabis. It feels like Amsterdam in a way though, because I saw a number of places that were selling cannabis, and I found that really odd. So I spoke to the guy that works there anyway. I mean, I went to one of the shops and I asked the guy that works there, I said, listen, yeah, does your cannabis have THC? Because I just need to understand if, you know, if what you're doing is similar to what they do in Amsterdam, because the cannabis in Amsterdam does have THC. And he said, yes, they do have THC, but the percentage is really low. Also, he said people are allowed to buy cannabis as long as they have a receipt. So if you buy cannabis from there and you have a receipt and you get stopped by the police, then it's okay, it's totally fine. And I said, wow, that's amazing. I think a lot of the cities in Europe are kind of relaxing their laws. Also, when he said that, I checked on the internet to see what the laws are. And apparently, in Krakow, you are allowed to smoke. However, you need to be careful because if you have a large amount of cannabis in your possession, then obviously you can get fined or possibly go to jail, depending on how much grams you have. But I don't advise you to buy cannabis anyway. You know, you just need to be careful when you go to a different country. You just don't want to get in trouble or get arrested or get yourself in situations you don't want to get yourself into, basically. But it was quite interesting though, and I know a lot of countries are doing the same. I know the THC level in that one was really low, but if you go to America, for example, cannabis is legal in some states at the moment, so that's quite interesting. I don't think that's ever going to happen in the UK though. The UK is so conservative. I don't think they would ever legalize cannabis. They might do in the next 100 years, but obviously I don't think I'll be alive to see that. Okay, moving on. As you can see, it's very busy. And for those that have been to Poland, I'm sure you know this already, the population of young people is crazy. Like, they have so many young people. It might just be that they like making babies here more. Who knows? But there's a lot of young people here. So that's quite interesting. Also, what I noticed is there were more foreign people in the old town in Warsaw. And the reason why I said, the reason why I say this is, in Warsaw, there were a lot of people speaking different languages, yeah? I've been hearing, because, you know, I like being nosy. I always say this, yeah? So I was listening to what other people, I was listening to people's conversations, and I realized that a lot of people here are speaking the local language. For those that have seen my previous videos, I am learning Polish, just the basics anyway. So I'm learning Polish, so I do understand some words they are saying, yeah? So, you know, it's quite interesting to know that. Okay, so in terms of what to do in Krakow, trust me, you don't need to worry about that. There's a lot to do. They have a lot of restaurants, and also they do have good food in Poland. So the food here is quite good. I went to a Polish restaurant in Warsaw yesterday because obviously that's where I'm based. the food was so good. It was so good, and the portions are good as well. So you know, I like my portions. Like, obviously I like fine dining, but sometimes it's really annoying. You spend like £200 on a meal and all you get is like a dot. Very annoying. But anyways, Polish food is really good. So make sure you try Polish food when you come around. Their dumplings was really nice, and they had the biggest dumplings I've ever seen. So normally when you buy dumplings, they're quite small. They're really small, not really small, but they're quite small. But the dumplings here are quite big, which I like anyway. So I totally recommend you have Polish food, and I think to all my young subscribers, you would definitely love it. You definitely love it here, and the reason why I say you would love it here is it's just got a very calm vibe. Like, it does feel like I'm in Amsterdam at the moment.
Yeah. The vibe in Krakow is one of a kind. I'm not gonna lie. I'm definitely going to go back to Krakow for a number of reasons. The first reason is I only went to Krakow for a day, not even a full day, because I was based in Warsaw and I took a train from Warsaw to Krakow. I got to Krakow, let's say, early afternoon or so, and I feel like I've not explored Krakow properly. So I'm gonna have to go back and explore it much more. I'll probably spend 5 days in Krakow. Also, I need to go back because the old town was not investigated properly. So I need to explore it properly. There were certain places I felt I missed, so I need to obviously go there. Also, the customer service in Krakow is fantastic, and they have a lot of good restaurants. There was one in particular I went to, and I really enjoyed their Polish dumplings. I literally traveled to Poland for their dumplings, not to lie. Anyways, I need to go back there to that same restaurant and have another meal, and just kind of assimilate again with the locals. Krakow is one hell of a city, I must say. Okie dokie, let's see what else I was up to.
The people are different, and that's it. Nothing else. You know, everything else is the same, literally. And also the Polish people are they're very kind as well, and you can tell that they're quite conservative to an extent, because they don't like to overtalk. You know, they like to get to know the person they are talking to and understand them before they kind of open up to them. So I kind of like that as well. I think sometimes it's always good to be conservative to an extent and not be too loud, or not be too loud or forward, basically. So when you come here, try Polish food, obviously. Also try Polish beer. Their beers are lovely, trust me. And the percentage is really high. So the one I had yesterday was 8%. That was really strong. So the alcohol is quite strong. And also their customer service here is really good. So when you go to a restaurant, for example, you know, they'll take their time. You know, if you ask them for for help regarding the menu, they are willing to help. You know, they will recommend things that you can have as well, so that's good. They're basically not rude. So customer service, I would say, in Poland is lovely. So I'm definitely coming back here again. Like I said in my previous video, I need to come here for like a week to kind of see if there's anything else I missed in this trip. So moving on, they've got like some historical looking buildings as well, and you definitely expect this in any old town. I've noticed that they're into churches here, so I suppose people in Poland are very, very religious. That's what I'm thinking anyway, because there's a lot of churches and their churches are quite massive. So when I went to the old town in Warsaw, they had a very big church there as well, and as you can see, there's a big church here as well. So I suppose they're quite religious.
Okie dokie. I suppose I've shown you enough of Old Town Krakow. Now we're going to move on to another popular city called Gdansk. Look at that Polish flag. Isn't it lovely? Okay, so Gdansk is up north. It's a northern city in Poland. Quite cold during winter. So wrap up warm if you ever go during winter. Gdansk has one of the most amazing views ever, and I suppose it might be good to go during summer, sorry, because going during winter might be too much for you. I'm trying to remember if I went during winter or during summer, but I know it was quite cold, but not too cold. So I must have gone during autumn, I think. Yes, it must have been during autumn. Because if I did go during winter, I would have had to wrap up really, really warm. Okay, so Gdansk is one place that a lot of tourists visit for many reasons. Um, Also, Gdansk is close to a Russian enclave, and that Russian enclave is a place people are currently going to at the moment because it's much more safer than going into main Russia. Though I don't mind going to main Russia at the moment, but a lot of people are quite scared or skeptical to go there. So people are going to the enclave, which is close to Gdansk. Okie dokie, let's see what I was up to in Old Town Gdansk.
Yeah, and it's not as busy as I thought it would be because it's a weekday, but I suppose it's going to get much more busier later today. So I thought, let me show you around for you to know how it looks like on a weekday. So the old town in Gdansk is quite similar to the other old towns around Poland. They are all somewhat similar in terms of architecture. So if you look at the buildings, for example, and you compare them to the ones in Warsaw and Krakow, you'll see that they are somewhat similar. And also their setup in terms of their restaurants are quite similar as well. In terms of weather anyway, so it's October and it's not too cold. So you could wear like a cardigan or a jumper, it's not that bad. However, it could get really cold in the evening because Gdansk is surrounded by a river. So sometimes it gets really cold in the evening. So you need to be mindful of that anyway. I've noticed that they have a lot of like bars and nightclubs in the old town area. So I might come back later in the evening to see how it is, to see if this is actually the place to be for a nightlife. I'm not too sure how busy it will be tonight because today is a weekday, but maybe what I'll try to do is to come on a Saturday and see how it is. So they have the usual Hard Rock Cafe and the usual sort of restaurants you'd see around Poland. Today I've got a booked tour at 2 o'clock, so that'll be very, very interesting because I would like to see more. I just feel Gdansk is one of those places that there's a lot to it, and I can't wait to actually see what's happening. So this is a place where they have souvenirs. I might check it out later. It's always good to get souvenirs when you travel to various countries. Sometimes they might be overpriced, so you need to be very, very careful because you don't want to get cheated. But most people in Poland are quite honest anyway. If this was Southeast Asia, I'll tell you to be very mindful. But Poland is okay. Poland is not bad at all. Poland is not the sort of place that they rip you off. They are very honest people, Polish people. Okay, so this is the first proper place that I've actually visited since I came. Obviously, I've been around my Airbnb just to see how the area is, but this is my proper first tour of Gdansk. I think 5-6 days would be perfect to tour the whole Gdansk, I would say. Just to give you a bit of background about Gdansk. So Gdansk is part of a tri-city. So there are 3 cities, which is Gdansk, and 2 other ones I can't pronounce. I don't want to embarrass myself today, but there are 2 other cities that make up the tri-city. Gdansk is the biggest city in Poland in terms of area, not in terms of population, in terms of area. And I think they are the 5th in terms of population. So there's quite a number of people. I think about 400 and something thousand people live in Gdansk. So far so good. I've had a good time. You know, I've spoken to some locals. Yesterday at the shisha bar, I spoke to some of the locals. They were quite cool. Customer service in Poland is always good anyway, so one thing you would never regret is customer service. In certain places you go there and they don't pay attention to you, you know, they don't give you the service you need, but they will definitely give you that service in Poland, I can assure you. Okay, so one thing I've noticed as well about Poland is their food is really good. Like, when I tried the Polish breakfast this morning, I thought, oh my days, like, very, very tasty. You go to certain European countries and the food is so bland, but the food in Poland is quite good. It's quite tasty. Okay, let me just show you some things around the old town. So this is like a conventional Polish restaurant, especially in the old town area. So you'd normally see like a sitting area outside and a place to sit inside. That's quite normal. Although the weather is not too cold, I still don't recommend you sitting outside. It's quite windy today. You might not be able to hear the wind because I've got a wind protector, so my mic has like a wind protector, so you might not hear the wind, but it's quite windy. And this sort of areas are always very windy anyway, just due to the fact that it's covered by a river.
Yeah, I think because Gdansk is surrounded by a river, it's quite cold during autumn and winter. But I've got a feeling that it might be quite humid during summer, because places that are surrounded by water are usually humid. When there's winter, when there's summer. Why am I mixing up summer and winter today? So during summer, places that have a lot of water next to it are usually very humid. But it'll be good to go during summer, because I tend to go to Poland during autumn, winter, and I think I need a summer vibe, basically. So I need to actually look at my schedule for next year or the year after, whenever I plan to go to Poland, and just make sure I'm planning my journey for summertime, because summertime in Poland can get really interesting, apparently, and I need to experience that, so I'm looking forward to it.
No, I don't. Yeah. Is it south or north?
South.
South, okay. Yeah, are you from the same place as well?
No.
Okay, where are you from? Gdansk. Is that your girlfriend or your wife?
No.
Your sister?
She would be wife.
Okay, cool. Take care, yeah? Yeah, Polish people are always very interesting. They're always willing to talk, but they kind of gauge you. They're thinking, should I talk? Should I not talk? You know them vibes. Yeah, you know them vibes where they're not too sure. But anyways, yes. So in Poland, if you want to travel to various parts, it's so easy because they have a very, very good transport system. So to travel around Poland doesn't cost you a lot. I've obviously taken the train to various cities before, and I normally book a first class ticket. I know my Polish subscribers have said that there's no point of booking a first class ticket, because what I did say in my previous video was I normally book a first class ticket because I never get a seat. But they said you don't have to do that, that sometimes you can book a second class and still get a ticket. But I'll just stick to first class anyway. It's quite cheap anyway, so it's not really burning my purse per se, so I'll just keep doing that anyway. Okay, so that's a typical Polish restaurant, for example, Polish cuisine. I remember when I went to Norway, I was saying to people that, oh, how would I know if the restaurant is actually Norwegian? Because they haven't written Norwegian restaurant or Norwegian cuisine or something like that on it. And a lot of Norwegians were pissed off and they said, hold on, why should they have Norwegian restaurant written on it? They don't have to say that. But the thing is, for a tourist, it's really, really hard to know whether or not it is a Norwegian restaurant or a Chinese restaurant. Actually, a Chinese one is easier to tell because usually they'll have like Chinese writing and all that jazz on it. But when you talk about other countries, it's so hard to tell unless they actually write it on it, basically. Okay, moving on. So, oh, that looks like a fish restaurant. I might try that later, actually. So it looks like they've got salmon, they've got mussels, they've got crab. I need to see the menu though, because I want to compare the prices to that of the UK. I usually compare it to the price of the UK just to see value for money. Okay, so let's look at what they have. Okay, so for a baguette with cherry tomatoes, that's like 52 zloty. That's not a lot. Let's look at their fish. A sea bream grilled or baked. Sea bream grilled or baked, 44 zloty. Okay, so I don't think it's that expensive anyway. I think the prices are reasonable. So I had a Polish breakfast, like I said earlier, this morning, and that cost me £11. And if you see my plate, like, it was nothing to joke around with. My plate was quite good. When I mean quite good, it was quite full.
The thing about Poland is you get value for money. And when I mean value for money, you get value for money in everything. If you were to catch a train into city, the prices are reasonable. If you were to catch a train across country, the prices are reasonable, even for a first class ticket. That's how good Poland is. Also, in terms of food, you get good quality food, organic food, at a good price. And obviously, the portion is reasonable. Unlike the UK, where you pay premium for something really tiny and sometimes not of quality. Hence why I really like Gdansk, Krakow, Warsaw, Katowice, and other great cities of Poland. Poland is one country that I feel in the next coming years is going to be one of the most visited Europeans. I was going to say the cities would be one of the most visited cities because it's very, very important for me to say it that way, because I don't think people would visit every part of Poland, but I think the major cities would be the most visited cities in Europe. And also, I feel very soon a lot of people might even like to relocate to Poland because it's really safe. It's actually one of the safest European countries I've been to. Okie dokie, let's see what else I was up to.
Where the stamps were, where my Polish stamps were. So I think he was thinking, this guy must love Poland. So he also asked me how long I'm looking to stay. I said I'm leaving on Sunday, and it was like, fine, bam, he stamped it. So yeah, it was a good experience actually. I've never ever had issues with my fellow Polish colleagues at the airport. They seem to be very nice anyway. I'm sure he was thinking, this guy must love Poland so much. So I'm still looking to come to Poland sometime in the future, because I just love Poland like that anyway. So I might be looking for other cities down south to obviously explore. I might also visit Krakow and Warsaw again, because I'm just addicted to those places. Basically, I'm addicted to all cities in Poland, let me not lie. Me saying Warsaw and Krakow is not actually true. I'm actually addicted to the whole lot. Okay, moving on. So let me check the time, because I've got my tour at 2 o'clock. Okay, I've still got time. The good thing about my tour is the place I need to meet up the tour guide at is not far away from here. It's literally like 4 minutes. So once I finish shooting this video, I'll make my way there and see Wagwan. I hope it's a good experience anyway, because I'm going to be walking around the main town for 2 hours, and 2 hours is quite long. So I'm just hoping it's an interesting tour. Okay, that's a bar. Because I just saw 2 ladies coming out of there and they looked really excited. So maybe they've had a lot of drinks. Okay, moving on. So old town, old town, old town. So I think I like this old town anyway, because it looks like there's a lot that goes on in the night or in the evening. I checked a number of restaurants online, and a lot of them open from 12 p.m. till late, till like 12ish in the midnight, and some of them open at 2ish as well. I can just imagine how busy it is on a Saturday. I'm sure it's really crazy, especially from Friday evening. I could tell that it'll be really, really busy. Just from the way it looks anyway, it seems like a very, very busy place. So, tomorrow, I'm going to have a boat tour, and apparently it's going to be on a wooden boat. So let's see how that goes. Apparently the wooden boat is a traditional Polish thing. So obviously you stay on the wooden boat and they take you around. I'm not sure how long it will last you. I mean, it will last for. I'm hoping it doesn't last for like an hour, because the weather is not great at the moment. Although they've warned me to ensure I've got something warm on. The bad thing is I've left my jacket in London, so I might have to buy a jacket or a jumper that is really warm, or I could wear the cardigan I'm currently wearing at the moment.
Yeah, silly me, silly me. So what happened was, the plan was to take my coat when I was leaving my house. Unfortunately, I forgot to take it and realized when I got to the airport that I didn't have my coat on me. It was really painful though, because in the airport I saw a lot of people with their coats, and I was thinking, what the hell am I doing? I'm going to Gdansk during autumn and I've got no coat. So what I did was I checked the weather and I'm like, can I hack it? And the weather in Gdansk was not too bad. So I thought, if anything, I'll get a coat in Gdansk. Luckily, I had this cardigan on at that time. I was still in the UK then when I realized, but I couldn't go back home to pick it up unless I'll miss my flight. Also, I did have a jumper in my suitcase, so I thought, you know what, I should be fine. Okie dokie, let's see what else I was up to.
And it's called a pub crawl. So basically, it's going to be a group of people going from pubs to pubs, trying their drinks out, and you know, just having a good time. I've never done a pub crawl before, so I don't know how it's going to be. I don't know if the people I'd be meeting up with would be local people, or it might be tourists, yeah, or a mixture. But whatever the case may be, it's going to be an interesting experience anyway. So I like the setup. So can you see that? That's literally like something that heats up the area. It's like a heater, which is really good. So I suppose people like sitting outside when it's cold anyway. You see that in Paris as well. Like sometimes it's really cold and people are literally sitting outside. And I'm thinking, are you guys on a different planet? But the good thing is today the sun is still shining down. So it's still really good. It's still really good. It's not that bad actually. Okay, let's cross over. So where else am I traveling to? I'm going to give you guys a little secret I've been keeping for a few weeks now. So you all know I like good food, and you all know I like spicy food, and you all know I don't play around when it comes to portions, yeah. So I'll be going to Thailand in November, and I think that will be a very, very good experience. Thailand is a very, very interesting place. There's obviously a lot to do and a lot of places to visit, so it's going to be a good place to go to. The places I plan to visit are Bangkok and Phuket, so that'll be interesting. I'm looking forward to going to Bangla Road. I'm sure you've all heard about the famous Bangla Road, so it'll be good to see that. It'll be good to try varieties of food they have in Thailand as well. Apparently the food in Thailand is quite affordable, but let's see anyway, because a lot of the people that told me that went to Thailand like a year or two ago, so it'll be good to see if that's still the case, because sometimes, you know, things change. And obviously we're now post-COVID, so I'm sure a lot of people are trying to make their money back. So let's see how that goes anyway.
Yeah, so I did go to Thailand, and I've done a lot of episodes on Thailand and also the nightlife in Thailand. So whenever you're free, please have a look. Okie dokie, I think we should go to another city, and the city we're going to look at is Poznan. Poznan, Poznan, Poznan. What a city. Poznan is not as popular as Warsaw, Krakow, and possibly Wrocław. However, Poznan is one city that is emerging, and a lot of people are now coming across it and visiting. The good thing about Poznan is it's got a vibrant city centre area, a vibrant old town, and a place set up for people that are into history. It's got an architecture that is so hard to explain and comprehend, and also it's got a places full of cathedrals and museums. Okie dokie, when I went to Poznan in this trip, they were doing a lot of works, but Poznan has now obviously upgraded their old town, sorted out all the bits there, and I'm looking to go back. But I thought it would be good to show you this wonderful city of Poznan.
In Poznan, and it looks like there's a lot of work going on, so I wouldn't recommend you coming for now until most of the work are done, because it looks a bit messy. But there's a lot of work being done at the moment, and I think it's just to improve the area. But there's still a lot of things to see. Obviously, it doesn't stop you from looking at the tourist attractions, but obviously just bear that in mind when you come here, that it will be quite challenging to actually look around the area. So how did I get to Poznan? So what happened was, I was thinking of cities to visit this time, and I thought, let me try some cities I've not been to. So Poznan came to mind for two reasons. I always give two reasons every time. The first reason is obviously my subscribers. You know, they did tell me to come to Poznan next time I visit Poland. And the other reason is I'm currently in Wrocław. That's where my hotel is, and I thought it might be better to look for a place that is not too far. It only took me like less than 3 hours to travel all the way from Wrocław to Poznan, so it's a no-brainer basically. In terms of what you can do in the old town area, there's a lot of souvenirs you can actually buy, which is quite good though, because when you go to a country you want to have like something to take back. So there's a lot of souvenirs around. It's quite chilly though, because obviously we're in winter at the moment, or it is winter period in Poland, so it's quite breezy and it's quite cold. I would recommend coming here during summer though, because winter time can be really cold in Poznan, and I think it's because they have like a river around, so obviously the breeze from the river comes across to the old town. So there are a number of places you need to note in Poznan. They've got a place called the Cathedral Island, and the Cathedral Island is literally a place where they have various churches. It's an island actually, and they have various churches in. If I've got time today, I'll take you to the Cathedral Island. If I haven't got time, then obviously I'll go there next time I visit, but I'll try as much as possible to go there today. Also, they do have a very, very good city center as well, so I might go there as well if there's time. If there's no time, obviously I'll do that next time I come. So what do they have in the old town area? They've got all sorts as usual. They've got the information center for all of you that tend to utilize the tourist office. They've got one here that you can actually go to, and I think it's quite useful to go to them though. When you go to the tourist center, they tend to tell you the key places to go to. Obviously watching vlogs like mine would help, but I suggest you go to the tourist center when you come around, because they would have more information. So it's called Centrum whatever, I don't know how to pronounce that, but it's literally telling you the information tourist center basically. That's what it means. So utilize that when you come around. They also have a club as well. Interesting. I don't think I've ever seen a club in an old town before. I think this is a first. Or did I see one in Wrocław? Actually, I think they have a number of clubs in Wrocław. Pardon me. I think they have a number of clubs in Wrocław. So it's not new in the western part of Poland, I suppose. But yeah, so you can obviously come to the club if you come around the old town. But I don't think there's a lot going on during winter though. I think it might be much more busier during summer. That's just me assuming though, because right now it's a bit dead. It's not as bubbly as it normally is, sorry. So I think summertime might be the best time to come to the old town area. And also it's much more enjoyable during summer as well, I suppose, because it's warmer. So in terms of food anyway, so I did check around Old Town for food, and there's a lot of good places to eat. As you can see, they have some Polish restaurants around, and yeah, just like Wrocław, it's quite affordable in Poznan as well. I did have a meal like an hour ago, and it only cost me like £11, and it was a lot of food. So the portions in Poland is quite good. I know I always talk about portions every time, because for me, obviously I like to pay a lot for food, but at the same time I need to see value for money. So yeah, so you definitely get value for money in Poznan. So let's take a look at what they have around. So they have a museum. Obviously I can't go in there at the moment because there's a lot of building work. As you can see, they have a lot going on in front of the actual museum, but I'm going to check to see if there's a possibility of me just going in front of it. I doubt it though, but I would take a look. You know me, I always try to take risks. For all you know, I can actually go in front. Okay, yeah, I think I can. Right, so that's the museum. I'm not sure if you have to pay an entrance fee. Maybe you have to, I don't know. But it doesn't look open to me though. Let me check. Yeah, so I think it's locked, it's closed. So I'm not really getting it though, because I did go to the to certain parts of Old Town today, and they were closed. I'm not sure if they have a particular time of the year they normally open, or they are just closed just because they are doing building work in front. Who knows? But I suggest you okay, hold on, I think they've got a sign that tells you so temporary exhibition from the 10th of November 2022 till the 28th of February 2023. Yes, so they have a temporary exhibition from the 10th of November 2022 till the 28th of February. So I don't know what that means, to be totally honest, what they mean by temporary exhibition, but it's obviously closed. So you can see there's a lot of building work. I suppose the question for me is, or the question is, should you come to Poznan? I would say it depends on what you want to do though. So I think if you're much more of the touristy, you know, museum type of person, you like visiting museums and you like to obviously check out people's culture, I think Poznan is a good place, because you'd obviously understand Polish culture and things that you don't normally see in certain parts of Poland, I suppose. For me anyway, I think I like Poznan because I like touristy activities basically. So I recommend you come to Poznan for that reason. Also, the reason why you should come to Poznan as well is it's so easy to think there's only one side to Polish people, but there's more sides to them. So when you visit certain parts of the country, you tend to understand them much more better. That's what I see anyway. So when I travel to various countries, what I do is I look at various parts of the country, and that makes me understand the people within the country much more better, I suppose. So I totally recommend that when you travel, you look around and you obviously go to various parts of the country and understand the culture in those various places.
Okay, I'm gonna have to end it here. Please like, comment and subscribe, and I'll catch you in my next video. Take care, guys.